Welcome to a world where expertise and accuracy combine to create a satisfying symphony of manufacture, where it becomes an art form. Whether you're an enthusiast for exquisite craftsmanship or just someone who finds the beauty of a machine in action, these videos will have you on the edge of your seat, waiting for the next astonishing moment. It's guaranteed to leave you wanting more. Prepare yourself for a mind-blowing display of 10 strangely rewarding manufacturing processes that you have never seen before. Number 10. Instead of having tires, the early cars had wooden or metal bands for wheels, precisely like the wagons of the past. The rubber tire was not even thought of until 1847, and its creation did not occur until 1888. Pneumatic tires were first used on cars in the early 1900s, but they had already been enhancing bicycles and horse-drawn carriages for a good 10 years. Modern tires are made up of about 15 different parts, including carbon black, synthetic and natural rubber, and other chemical additives. After that, every component is crammed into massive blenders, which, depending on the kind of rubber tire being produced, blend the elements together with intense heat and pressure. After an array of preparations, the mixer effectively produces a sort of sticky black dough that is then rolled out by huge machines. Rubber is used to coat specific fabric portions because it is not strong enough on its own. This is what gives tires their stiffness. The procedure then moves on to the application of threads to the fabric, which is done by all the big gear. To create the tread, the rubber mixture is first compressed and squeezed. There are then literally hundreds of steps involved in creating the tire. Every machine in use has a very specific job to perform. It's actually crazy how much goes into making these everyday items. There are so many layers and processes to make a single tire that it is actually mind-blowing. Number 9. This machine's rather adorable large floppy underbelly that squishes itself onto every plate is one of its many pleasing features. These are ceramic printing machines, which are actually fairly simple but also rather intelligent. The glass plate with the design that is ready to be transferred to the machine's pad is inked by the printing press next to the ceramic dish, which is held in place by a mold. The design is transferred to the plate when the pad is pressed down and slides over the inked-up glass. The floppy pad is intended to stretch out over the entire surface of the dish in order to transfer the design onto numerous plates in a uniform manner. Next, the pad moves into position above the dish, and once it is correctly aligned, it is dropped down onto the ceramic dish's surface. Some machines can transfer several colors in a single process since they have multiple printing presses and a pad system. What do you think about this machine? Number 8. The method used to make and package your orange juice is like a beautifully composed choreography. The oranges are collected in large trucks and transported to the factory, where they are hand-washed and sorted. The oranges that are selected for juicing are then fed into a machine that separates the good juice from the lumpy parts and skin. The liquid is then heat-treated and placed into large barrels. The beauty truly starts in the following situation, which features the barrels in the bottling facility. The bottling machine is pretty neat. Each bottle has a small space inside that it is sent to various parts of the process. First, each bottle is sterilized by steaming it before it is filled with juice at a later stage. Next, the bottles pass through a machine that pops their lids, which trundles off down a conveyor belt and into a machine where their labels are placed. Some machines work by sliding a whole wrap around the bottle, much like a coat. This is then shrunk to fit the bottle's body, and they're packaged into their multi-pack wrap. Then sent off they go. Are you starting to feel satisfied seeing all these machines working efficiently? Don't get too excited just yet. There's still a lot more to come. Number 7. The pharmaceutical business is one place where you would expect packing to be extremely clean and highly effective. The numerous pills, tablets, and medications that people depend on for their health are some of the most crucial items to be packaged and labeled correctly. The blister packs that many medical tablets come in are kind of fascinating to watch during the manufacturing process. First, the machine runs the sheets of plastic through the form, which then creates all the little perfectly even and perfectly spaced little dents in the plastic. Next, the pills are sorted through a machine that filters them through so that they can pop out perfectly. The packet not only tells people what's inside the medicine, but it also provides protection from outside elements to show that it has not been tampered with, and it keeps all the hygienic in as well. Then a human will make sure everything is neatly nestled in before the film is put on top. This keeps everything in place and seals the medication until the customer uses it. The plastic wrap pill sheets are then cut into the proper size, holding exactly the right amount of each item, and they're packaged and prepared for shipping. It's an extremely thrilling process. Number 6. Modern laser technology has been improving our lives in many ways for years. These videos demonstrate how neatly it can cut even the tiniest things while maintaining the highest precision. CNC machines, which stand for computer numerical control, are essentially used for highly precise cutting of almost any material you can imagine. The machine is operated by a computer, which allows the operator or designer to program in any necessary specifications. The computer then controls the machining tools, which enables more precise and detailed cutting than when the machine is operated by a human. This is essentially how the machines are performing all of this extremely precise work, which is pretty cool, don't you think? Number 5. It's kind of crazy how much work goes into producing even the smallest and most commonplace everyday items, like screws. I don't know about you, but my mind is starting to spin from all the little things that I hardly ever think about and the intricate manufacturing processes behind each and every one of them. I never once gave the making of these objects any thought. The raw material used to make metal screws is wire, which can be made of a variety of metals, but all of them work similarly in the manufacturing process. Although the majority of the process is carried out by machines, humans with skill and experience are still needed to monitor and make small adjustments as the screws are being made because screws are very precise little objects. The functionality and dimensions of screws greatly depend on the precision with which they have been produced. If they are even slightly off, or slightly too big or small, the results could be disastrous for the customer. Number 4. Although it is a job, labels are attached to finished goods by human hands. However, larger corporations are increasingly adopting these massive, fascinating label machines to label their bottles and packs rather than employees. Let's just take a moment to enjoy the soothing rhythm of the machine and the steady pace of progress as they spin and twirl around the room, each taking their turn to pass through the labeler. Some machines, I know, are really crazy because they actually do the front and back labels simultaneously. I know it blew my mind too. Number 3. Flexographic printing is particularly useful in packaging since it often eliminates the need for an adhesive label in favor of words, photos, and other information printed directly onto the packing material. This enormous machine can essentially print up to 10 colors in a single pass. Each color has its own tube or plate cylinder on the machine, and the substrate is the term used to describe the material that will be printed on. Take a seat back and watch as it displays its printing skills. Number 2. Next up, we have a treat for your eyes, as long as you're wearing all the necessary safety gear, like goggles and protective eyewear. It's an oddly hypnotic procedure, and you might find yourself nodding off and wondering how sharp a blade has to be to cut through some metal bars, like they're ham. What do you think of all this heavy machinery doing its thing? Is it soothing? Number 1. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfying is this manufacturing process to your senses? I think I would really like to hear the sound effect that this machine makes as it wears down the cardboard packaging to remove all of those pieces from the big stack. I rather like to imagine that it makes a loud unzipping noise or a gentle clacking like a lot of dominoes all toppling over each other. I'm not sure about you, but I'm really impressed with all of those amazing machines and their enormous amounts of cleverness. Which of these processes intrigued you the most? As always, please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to check out the other amazing videos that are currently on your screen. Thanks for watching.